The default classes in Elder Scrolls games are broadly broken down into three categories: warriors, mages, and thieves. Warriors specialize in melee combat, mages specialize in arcane arts, and thieves specialize in stealth, backstabbing, and a certain joie de vivre. There are many hybrids of these, such as, battle mages, nightblades, and pilgrims, things like that, but these core concepts are the basis on which the other classes are all built. In the early Elder Scrolls games, classes of the thief archetype, like the burglar or the acrobat, were suboptimal from a combat perspective. Their HP pools were small, they didn't have much strength, so they didn't get very good bonuses whenever wielding melee weapons and things like that. And even from a utility perspective, the access to lockpicking, pickpocketing, and stealth were not really very impressive compared to the mage, who can cast open spells. They can turn themselves invisible and can ultimately provide all the utility that the thief could do more reliably than the thief. So this creates this weird situation where you have these class options, the acrobat, the thief, and things like that are just actively bad. Like, they're bad choices from a mechanical perspective. But that's part of why I like playing with those classes. So playing as a thief or something like that doesn't really provide you a lot of mechanical benefits in the early Elder Scrolls games. However, they do provide you with some aesthetic benefits, because it's so cool to be someone that skulks and lurks in the shadows, or is involved in the underworld and things like that. Playing a thief also provides the player with an interesting way of approaching the game. What if everyone you fight in this game is better at fighting than you? How are you going to get the treasure and get out without being killed? How are you going to explore the dungeon safely, or how are you going to infiltrate the palace without getting thrown behind bars? Or how are you going to rob these stores without getting caught by the guards, and things like that. These are all ways that we have to approach the game to be successful as thieves, and it just kind of makes you rewrite the way the narrative plays out in many situations whenever you can't overcome your enemy in one-on-one combat. Sometimes you can pull that off, but the odds are stacked against you as a thief, especially at the lower levels in Arena and Daggerfall. By playing a thief, we forsake many of the mechanical benefits of the other classes, and we force our character to survive by his wits alone. And there's a greater emphasis in the items that we possess, that we may prepare for all the challenges that we face in a way that is going to ensure our survival and allow us to retreat and live to fight another day if at all possible. Being a thief in Arena is very unforgiving, and it lacks the consolation prizes offered by Daggerfall, such as verticality in the dungeons and lots of hijinks to get involved in outside of the dungeons. Things like that. I haven't played Arena very much anyway, so take that with a grain of salt. Thieves in Morrowind are not really bad by design. I just seem to recall that it was really hard to sneak meaningfully in Morrowind, and you're usually better off just using magical effects anyway. To demonstrate how great the Thief gameplay loop is in Daggerfall Unity, we're going to play a bit using the default Acrobat class. Before getting into it, let's look at the Acrobat class as shown in the Elder Scrolls titles. The Acrobat is a class that's been near and dear to my heart for a long time, and I'm not entirely sure why. We're just going to sort of investigate why I have this affinity for the Acrobat class with this video. The Acrobat class in Arena has access to some mediocre weapons, ranging from the dagger to the short sword. I guess the best they could use for melee is a broadsword, with access to a short bow for range. The best armor they can wear is leather, and their critical strike per level is a 1% chance. That's notably quite small compared to like a 3% chance from an assassin, or a 2% chance from a thief. Their starting weapon is a short sword. Like I said, I haven't played Arena much, but that's a good baseline for what the Acrobat class will look like in other games. In Daggerfall, we have the introduction of flavor text to go with each of the default classes. The flavor text for the Acrobat reads that they practice the thieving arts. They use their remarkable physical skills to aid them. They are very quick, agile, and nimble. Some of the advantages and disadvantages they get are athleticism, which If I remember correctly, it reduces the amount of fatigue required for running, jumping, and climbing, things like that. They have the adrenaline rush feature, which was eventually sort of streamlined into the Red Guard's racial benefits and other titles. It gives you a bonus to combat stats whenever you are at 13% health or lower. That kind of sucks, because if you're at 13% health or lower, you need to get out of there. You need to drink a health potion. You're not going to be able to use the benefit, because like you'll have maybe 1 or 2 strikes you could maybe get in before dying, you know. I don't usually reload my saves that aggressively, so that doesn't seem very helpful for me. Anyway, you can only use leather armor, which prevents you from using a lot of really great stuff, of course. No shields, no axes, max gain of HP of 18 per level. Anyway, look at their primary skills: jumping, dodging, and running. That's if you've ever tried to play a class like the Acrobat and Daggerfall before, you're going to be whiffing a lot at the early levels because of this. I'm not trying to disparage this at all. I think it's awesome that jumping, dodging, and running are the primary skills here, because it's just different from what you're used to playing. The major skills are climbing, hand-to-hand, and stealth. And so whenever you look at these most important skills here, you'll see an emphasis on being able to just move around the dungeon safely and maybe stave off the enemy with a couple whacks to their face or a quick boot to their chest. Our minor skills will be pickpocket, critical strike, backstabbing, short blade, archery, and swimming. Swimming is going to be especially pitiful as a skill, since we'll be using climates and calories, and swimming will almost always mean a death sentence. They're stat-wise, they're prone to being agile and fast. Okay, let's look at Morrowinds. This is where stuff gets really beautiful, in my opinion. I love the little portraits that go with the default classes in Morrowind and Oblivion. This one is especially near and dear to my heart because the portraits just show the adventuring gear that your Acrobat might have, and you know, I just really love this little detail about these games. The flavor text for the Acrobat in Morrowind reads, Acrobat is a polite euphemism for agile burglars and second-story men. These thieves avoid detection by stealth and rely on mobility and cunning to avoid capture. And I think it's this flavor text that really started it all for me. I really love the whole, it's a polite euphemism for burglar, you know. Let's look at the class's mechanics. They specialize in stealth. Attributes are agility and endurance. Their skills are mostly the same of what we saw in Daggerfall, except marksman is now a major skill, so there's some viability with your attack rate there. In the minor skills, you'll also see that spear is thrown in there. There's something that our Morrow boomers are going to love. And the minor skill alteration is there as well, which I think is really cute because it gives you access to things like jump. Like, you're not going to have a lot of magicka as an Acrobat, but you'll have enough alteration to be able to cast a jump spell once in a while, and I love that, man. I can't explain to you how much I love jump as a spell in the Elder Scrolls games. Okay, moving right along, let's look at the Acrobat as shown in Oblivion. They're specialized in stealth, agility, and endurance as well, and they have mostly all the same skills that we've seen before. I should mention that the Morrowind and Oblivion Acrobat, they specialize in speechcraft, which creates a bit more guile than what we saw in the previous characters, like in Daggerfall. Anyway, I think that's this art as well in Oblivion is fantastic. The kind of art that is given to the Acrobat in the default classes, it's just beautiful. This guy has a really weird form of receding hairline, though, where there are some tendrils creeping up his scalp. I don't know what that's about. But, oh yeah, they introduced a shield in the Oblivion iteration of Acrobat. I don't know what that's about. I guess it was because you don't really have light armor as a skill, so this was your consolation prize. You get to like hold a buckler while you run around, and you know, it's cool. It's cool. Okay, without further ado, let's take a look at the intro dungeon that my character rolled up whenever I made an Acrobat in Daggerfall. Okay, here we are in the first dungeon. We got thrown into a very rude section of this dungeon that I find very fitting for the Acrobat aesthetic. First, let's take a look at our character sheet. Yeah, we have good agility and good speed and not much else. We have a whopping 33 hit points here at level 1, so just a couple of hits will be enough to take us down. Oh yeah, each class has its own little background that it assigns to you in case you don't want to write up your own or something like that. Also, any custom classes you make will be assigned a background based on the class it most closely resembles. So to give you an overview about the history of the Acrobat, canonically speaking, you basically run into a a carnival that had wandering acrobats as a child. You never found them again, but you started practicing and practicing, and then eventually ran away from home to pursue your dreams in the carnival. You end up helping out the son of the emperor, and later on, the emperor bails you out of jail one time whenever you get into trouble with the law, and then kind of sends you toward Privateer's Hold looking for the letter and all that fun stuff. But we are not in Privateer's Hold. We're in this random dingy hole. And if you look at the edge here, our only options here, let me get a torch out, are to go down this little elevator shaft or to go up it. And there's no actual elevator for us to use. This room, it doesn't lead anywhere. There's no secret doors or anything like that. What makes this extra menacing is, yeah, let me show you. If you come down here, go into repel mode. Oh, but I dropped my torch. Come down here, and it's kind of a dead end with an ice atronach. That room goes nowhere, and this room goes nowhere. So it's like, if you come down here, your character instantly gets soft locked. If you don't have levitation, you can't like. I've tried many times to jump from that coffin up there. It's not going to happen. So yeah, if you don't jump well, yeah, you're gonna just get soft locked and killed at the very start of this dungeon. It's pretty cute. I like it because this is like the acrobat test. Like, you have to be good at the basic skills required by an acrobat: jumping, dodging from the enemies, and running, plus some climbing, which is a major skill. Yeah, you have to succeed at jumping and climbing to get out of the even the very first like section of the starter dungeon. So let's start it like this. We're gonna start climbing on the wall here. Now, notice that we can't use a torch using the because the handheld torches mod that we have installed. Can't use a torch at any time when your free hand would be occupied like climbing. So kind of in the dark. Oh, I see there's an elevator right here. I've played this character before but didn't find the elevator. That's cool. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and lower the elevator now and see if we can focus on finding our way out of this dungeon. Oh. Hello. Okay, we gotta run for it. Oh, wow, wow, wow. It's all a dead end. It's all a dead end. Where's the pit? Here's the pit. Okay, that'll leave everything but the imp behind. Oh, no. Oh no, I climbed on the stairs. He's gonna get me. I missed the torch. Okay, it can't be that way. Okay. Alright. Okay. At least we have a lot of pits to utilize if needed. That only works whenever you don't have to explore the other side of the pit, though. Oh, 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 oh. Alright, we made it out of the dungeon. Part of me wants to go back in and look for loot, but those Atronachs are too powerful. They're going to drop us in 1 or 2 hits, so... now that we're out of the dungeon, we can tell that we're in a kind of deserty climate. We must be in Sentinel somewhere. Let's open up the world map and we'll see that we are in this corner of Antiphalos. And not too far to the west, you'll see that there's like a little triangle in 3 different provinces, and I bet that our Acrobat will be able to fit into the underworld in this little triangle of operations pretty swimmingly. So all we have to do is survive the time traveling on the road to get to one of those places, and hopefully we don't run out of food or water or get slain by bandits all the way. Okay, we've survived the harsh desert long enough to explore our way toward the capital of Hagia Sophia, where we're going to see if we can get integrated into the criminal underworld some. Yeah, so we also need to figure out how we're going to get a horse. We don't have a ton of gold right now, but we can't really be successful at outrunning the cops or the guards if we're not on a horse. Well, more importantly, we can't outrun the bandits and the things like dragonlings that we'll find in the wilderness if we don't have a horse. So it would be easiest for us to steal a horse, obviously, but whenever it's nighttime, you'll see why that's not really an option. Okay, it looks like the market's up here in the northwest corner of the city, so we're going to head that way. Kind of scope out the scene some, see which places might be worth checking out. We're also on the lookout for potions and, if at all possible, maps. There's like a very small chance that you'll find a map to a dungeon whenever you're in a bookstore, so we're going to keep an eye out for that. Okay, yeah, we made it to the marketplace. Let's go around and see. Yeah, here's an alchemist. Yeah, alchemy is just using the roleplay and realism mod. You can buy stuff off the shelf, buy potions, I mean. And so we need a few potions just for our survival, like potion of like, yeah, I mean, we'll take healing, cure poison, yes please. Man, free action too, but there's no way I have enough money for all that. Oh wow, yeah, we got it. That's some really good finds. So in the dungeon, we also picked up a couple of spell scrolls. These are added by a mod. We have to find a way to capitalize on that while we're here. Are there any other potions? No, this one didn't have anything for us. Purification would be good because that would cure us from disease as well. So this one place has a lot of stuff that's good for us, so we're gonna try to sell these scrolls and maybe some other stuff to come back for the purification. We of course always have the option of relying on a bank to loan us the money that we would need for a horse. We don't necessarily have to pay it back, although we might not want bounty hunters on our tail as a frail character like this. But still, I think it would be more fun if we try to get the gold that we need for a horse through some less legal lines of operation. Let's just wave a person down and ask for directions. Hey, any pawn shops around here? No, there are no pawn shops, which is a bummer, but there are some gem stores. Let's see if he can point us towards some gem stores. Thank you. Southeast, southeast, okay. Oh, there are more alchemists too. These are all places that we would not mind stealing from tonight. Let's check out the weapon shop and see what kind of quality they have. It's laid out in a practical and straightforward manner. That means it's a kind of medium quality, I guess. Though it has elven stuff on the shelf. Yeah. It wouldn't hurt to try to bash our way through here. We obviously would rather pick the lock. But we need to leave this city with a heap of gold one way or another. It'd be best to do it with a horse, but I don't think that's going to happen just yet. This town has a little palace. It's pretty cute, and kind of want to take a little dip in the pool real quick. I wonder if that's going to cause danger for us. We're somewhat wet. Climates and calories can give you some debuffs for being wet if it's cold, but I think it's a good thing whenever you're in a hot region. Okay, yeah, on top of the castle there's a couple of doorways in if we want to try to break in tonight. Yeah, there's actually just the one. And then I think I saw a tavern nearby, so yeah, let's go to the tavern and kill some time, maybe pick up a rumor or two, and we will try to go on a little spree at night. I wonder how many people hanging out in this tavern are Thieves Guild operatives who I just don't know yet. It will all be revealed soon. Okay, I don't actually want to rent a room. I'm just going to loiter until... Oops. There's our character. Let's loiter for about 5 hours. Streetwise, jumping, mercantile, climbing, running. That's a great level up for us. Okay, night has fallen. It's time for us to go make our rounds and see which shops we're able to sneak into. Okay, it would be most helpful if we could break into an alchemist shop, so we did it. A floorboard creaks as we step on it, but wow, we got it first try. That's crazy. Potion of Purification is still here. Resist Frost might be helpful. We got some gems to grab. Honestly, we could sell all of these ingredients somewhere else. Not for a lot, but let's grab it anyway. Potion recipe. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to pick up all the twigs after all. It's going to be tedious. Resist shock is helpful. Wow. I can't believe that we just did that. Yeah, first try. Okay, the clothing store is not worth breaking into. I think the other alchemist is over here. That's the weapon shop. Let's try it. Okay, does not unlock. Okay, the other alchemist did not unlock either. Bookstore does not unlock. We're not even going to try this armory here. Our other targets are way on the other side of the map, so let's get moving. Okay, we made it to a gem shop. Let's see if we can... No. Now, I know what you're thinking, Micah, if you want a horse so badly, why don't you just go break into a general store and put it in your pocket and get out of there? The thing is, if you try to steal a horse off the shelf in the middle of the day, it rolls the pickpocketing check, and it just takes a lot of clicks to get a successful one sometimes, and the guards will be on my tail, so I'm not looking to do that. At nighttime, we could steal the horse if we get into one of the general stores, but the gates are closed, and we're using realistic wagons, which will mean that I can't just put the horse in my pocket. I actually have to account for its body. And there's a thief wandering the city streets. Is he trying to go for the gem store also? Already try it? No, it does not unlock. That's kind of creepy. There's another thief out here. I'm going to try to avoid him, given the slip. That's added by a mod, by the way. Yeah, the weapon shop does not unlock. Basic urban encounters adds a chance of running into different encounters, especially at night in cities. I think it's a nice addition. I'm just worried that I'm going to lose an Iron Man run because like a vampire spawns in the middle of a city where I think it's safe or something like that. That would be kind of frustrating. Okay, we've tried the easy way on all of these doors. Let's do it the hard way now. Hope that thief isn't still around here. I must have given him the slip somewhere. Okay. The shop is better appointed than many. Its wares lie neatly on the shelves. Although not fit for a king, they are all skillfully crafted. A startled cat knocks an item to the floor as it scampers away. That can't be good for us, right? That's the Skullduggery mod, by the way, that's giving us some context to what we're seeing here. Oh man, we're already near our capacity because of all these twigs that I picked up. Okay, they called the guards. We're gonna grab one more heap and hightail it out of here. Oh, there they are. Okay, we gotta get out of here. Thought I might creep through a guard tower if I'm able to. Okay. Oh, come on, we're almost there. Sweet. Alright, go into repel mode. And we're gonna leave this town in the dust. We're once again going to have to brave the desert, but next we will be moving westward to, maybe there's a town along this dirt path, but I think we're going to end up in Pythonis to get rid of some of these, all this jewelry that we picked up. Okay, now that we've acquired a bunch of loot in this heist, we need to get to a place where we can convert the loot into cash and use that cash to get things like more potions that we need, a horse, upgrades, and things like that. By the way, we're going to try to leave this region where we have guards on our tail altogether to go to the next one over. A critical part of playing a thief or really any nefarious sort of character is understanding that each province tracks its reputation, or the legal system of the province tracks reputations independently. So I'm a bit of a scumbag criminal in this province, but in the adjacent one, I should have a clean name. You should install the Bounty Hunters mod if you don't have it already, just to make sure that there is some accountability and consequences whenever you are wreaking havoc throughout the land. They'll send some bounty hunters on your tail. It's pretty sweet. Anyway, while we're on the road, let's talk about the gameplay loop that we encounter in Daggerfall. I think most characters end up running into this sort of gameplay loop. You go out and you adventure, you get into a dungeon and things like that. You try to get quests, or you try to accomplish quests in the dungeon, and you get a bunch of loot. Then you go to sell the loot, then you upgrade and resupply, and then you go back and adventure some more. With a thief character specifically, the adventuring part of our gameplay loop will consist of things like dungeon dives, of course. These dives will be different from a warrior or a mage who's able to handle all the mobs there pretty easily. We're mostly going to be dodging, like actively running away from fights and trying to get as much of the loot that's on the ground as we can, or maybe cause mobs of monsters to run into each other and then they'll fight each other and we'll, like, you know, despicable scavengers pick the bones from their corpses. Maybe we'll knock out a quest or two while we're in there, but if we're a thief or an acrobat, we will be in the Thieves Guild, and we'll get to that at the next town as well. But Thieves Guild quests won't necessarily take you into dungeons, I should mention. Anyway, yeah, that was the next thing to point about the thief gameplay loop is whenever you're questing for the Thieves Guild and advancing in rank, you're not going to be brought to any dungeons unless you have some quest packs installed. So that's a safe way to gather loot and to increase your rank in the Thieves Guild. Whenever you increase your rank in the Thieves Guild, you'll, at certain milestones, end up getting a map that will send you to a dungeon where you can acquire more loot. It's pretty sweet. Yeah, we might do some odd jobs here or there that we pick up from taverns and merchants who want help with smuggling and things like that. We'll perform some petty theft once in a while, maybe trying to do some pickpocketing, and like we just saw, we'll perform these more elaborate heists where we try to scope out a situation, try to get off with as much loot as we can, and then steal away into the night. I consider all that part of the adventuring section of the gameplay loop. Once we have all of this accomplished, we're going to go to identify any magical items that we have. We might rest at a tavern just for the sake of getting our HP, our fatigue, and maybe our magicka back if you're into that. We're going to evaluate the loot and the gear that we got and sell the excess. So most of what we grab, I think, is going to be considered excess, but we should keep in mind that in Daggerfall, our coins, our gold in our pocket has a bunch of weight, and that's one of my favorite parts about the game, in fact. But it is something to consider. Like sometimes a ruby that's worth like 500 gold will be better off just staying a ruby than selling it. I think it's fun to be a kind of pack rat and have a lot of lightweight but expensive items and liquidate the assets as you go, as you need to spend them. Or you can convert them into letters of credit. So you sell more than you can carry, and then you get a letter of credit. Or you go directly to a bank and you deposit the money and you withdraw a letter of credit whenever you need it. The issue with that is that the bank will take about 10% of funds whenever you withdraw it, or something like that. I could be getting the numbers wrong, but the point is you are sacrificing some of the cash whenever you're doing that. Usually in these Elder Scrolls games, you have too much cash. That's not always the case. So, like, I'm saying that the taxation or whatever that the bank is imposing is kind of negligible. But I think with my play style in Daggerfall, it's still a consideration to keep in mind. So, we started off with adventuring. We went to the selling and recovering portion of the gameplay loop. Next, we will upgrade and resupply. We're going to get potions, food, and arrows. The potions are pivotal for non-magic characters. The roleplay and realism items mod will allow you to buy those from alchemists without being in a guild, which we take for granted in other Elder Scrolls games, and it was a pretty obtuse mechanic, but it's pretty huge that you don't need to be a high-ranking official in a guild to just buy potions. We're going to consider any gear upgrades. If you're playing like a traditional thief class where you only have access to leather armor, your armor upgrades are going to be very, very limited, you could say. But you might be able to get a new bow or a new dagger. But we're also going to train, especially things like dodging. For the Acrobat, that dodging is one of the most pivotal skills we have. It's important for survival, and it's a major skill. However, we're only going to be able to train dodging organically in the field by exposing ourselves to danger. So let's not do that and pay somebody to train us about how to dodge. So once we have a sufficient amount of food, of potions, arrows, and any other upgrades and training we need, we'll go around. We will maybe pick up a Thieves Guild, an odd job here or there, maybe buy a map at a bookstore that'll point us toward a dungeon, and we'll start back at the start the gameplay loop all over again. That's the beauty of it. Okay, after traversing the hostile desert for a while, we made it to this town in the province of Sentinel. We're close to the city that we're aiming for, but we need to get some more water skins, because having just one is just a death sentence whenever you're traveling overland. And we need to get, well, a horse. So let's... Oh, we need to get some new shoes or sandals also. So let's see what we can find here. Oh yeah, we only have 4 gold. I actually ran out of money just buying food and drink in taverns, so we need to sell some of our junk just to break even on operational costs here. There we go. Okay, let's look for sandals. Let's look for water skins. We got both of those. That's good. Honestly, one more water skin would make me feel a little bit better. We're not going to get it. Oh wait, I think I saw it. Yeah, okay. Sweet. Now, whenever we were performing that heist earlier in the city, we were unable to get a horse at the time because the horse would not be able to get past the closed city gates. However, we are in a town now, and that means that we can wait until nighttime and hopefully break into this general store and get a horse and get out of here. I'm not looking forward to being a criminal already out here, but it's just so hard to navigate the grueling heat of the desert without a horse. Okay, what time is it? It's 3 a.m. That should be good. Let's see if we're able to break into this general store without having to bash it in. We are not. Okay. None of the doors in this city or in this town are yielding to me. So we are just going to have to start kicking things down and hope to not get caught by the guards. Because I feel like we need a horse pretty badly. Yeah, there's a couple horses out here, but I can't just run up and grab them because we're playing Daggerfall Unity. We're not there yet. That might be too easy. Maybe that's intentionally something that is not modded in yet because it would make it so trivial to get your hands on a horse. Okay, we're slowed down a lot by our loot. Okay, we got in there. This guy's calling the guards on us. That's to be expected. I don't really think that we want much else. We'll take some food off the shelf. Oh, we have to name our horse. Let's call him Zebulon. I don't know where that name came from, but... Oh! Bribe the guard. I steered right toward them. They're gonna kill me. They're gonna kill me. They're gonna kill me. Okay. Okay. Man, that was kind of a close call. Okay, goodness. Yeah, it was a real struggle to get through the wilderness to our city here, but we made it past numerous nighttime encounters. We made it past losing our campsite, and we made it to the city. You barely make out a figure wearing dark clothes who seems to be waiting for you. He gestures for you to approach. You're Loviril, right? Ward has it Sentinel is sick of you. I've got some people in high places who can change that, but it costs money. Give me 1,000, I'll make things better. You think I have 1,000 gold? Get out of here. That's kind of cool. It seems like an added, something from a mod that will help you to restore your reputation. Get the bounty off of your head, that sort of thing. But we're just going to draw the hood up of our cloak and go into this tavern here to get a proper night's rest and hope nobody notices us. Okay, next on our to-do list is really just to join the Thieves Guild or find some way to get sent to a dungeon. We're going to slip into this pawn shop. And you know what? It's probably a bad idea, but I really want to sell my armor just because it's so heavy. It's not like it affords us much protection anyway. We just want to be able to stay safe. Like, steer clear of danger altogether, I mean. Okay, so we sold enough stuff to have 1,800 gold. We still have a decent amount of loot to sell in the future. We could use a few more potions and things like that, but next on our to-do list will be getting some sort of quests that will take us to a dungeon, or getting contacted by the Thieves Guild would be great. But let's just go to... is there a marketplace in this city? No, there's not. Okay, that lady helped us find the alchemists that we're looking for. We're going to go get any potions that we're missing from our basic retinue of how to survive. And then I think we're just going to hit the road again. Now that we have a horse, it should be easier to survive. Oh, we also have new sandals and a couple spare water skins. So surviving in the wilderness should be a lot easier now. Can I sell some of my gems to you? Or did I sell all of them already? Oh, we have a lot of stuff to sell. Okay, yeah, I remember getting this. It's weighing me down a bit. Okay, so we were able to get a few of the, what I would consider essential potions. Or at least some very helpful ones. We got some resist fire, we got some water walking and water breathing, all things that are good to have. And I don't care to stick around in this city any longer. We still have not identified our scrolls, but I think we're going to do that sort of thing the next town we reach. This place in Antiphilos is ideally where we're going to be getting quests and kind of be a law-abiding citizen. It also has the benefit of being a very small region, so we can do a lot of overland travel without quests sending us to very far-flung regions. Okay, we're getting very close to our destination beyond this border, and we just came to another town. So we're going to see if we get lucky, and maybe there's something we can break into around here. I'm not sure what we would want from a general store, but I'm sure we can figure something out. Okay, we were unsuccessful in lockpicking the doors, and you know, I'm not really dedicated to breaking those doors down. I don't want to bash anything in, I mean. No reason to draw more guards on our tail for whatever we would find at the general store. If it was a pawn shop or a gem shop, you know, maybe. Where are we? We're finding a lot of towns here on the border. It's pretty convenient. That means whenever we come back through in this direction, we'll have a couple of places to stop and restock on supplies, get some more refreshments. Alright, here goes nothing. Okay, we got in. Sweet. Anything good? We got a little bit of jewelry. Yeah, we'll take the books. Oil. We don't even have a lantern right now, right? It seems pretty evil to be... Oh, wait, I need a camping equipment for sure. It seems kind of evil to be stealing prayer equipment, but, you know, desperate times. Steal some rations, amulet, talisman, some more books. Why not? Oh, there's a lantern. Okay, we might as well. And stealing the icon feels pretty bad, but it's okay. We're evil characters after all. Okay, well, they finally called the guard on us. We're going to get out of here before we get bribed. No, surrendered. No. Okay, let's get out of here. Okay, see you later, Sentinel. I really hope that's enough to get the Thieves Guild to contact us. Okay, we made it to a safe city in... Oh, man. Even in Antiphalos, we are considered undependable. I was kind of afraid that was going to happen. And yet, I don't understand how it happened. You know, we only committed the crimes in those other regions, and yet our reputation was affected in this region as well. Maybe the criminal reputation is spread through some sort of radius effect. I mean, it makes sense. It feels less like you can exploit the system this way. And it's not going to stop us from being a criminal in these regions, of course. Maybe somebody understands that reputation system a bit better and can explain it to me. But yeah, let's go ahead and rent a room. Let's get some beer in us, and we're just going to wait for daylight. Actually, we'll sleep until like noon or something like that, like a thief would. Yeah, one of the great things about the Beautiful Cities mod is that it lets you... It plops taverns outside of cities so that you can arrive to a place in the middle of the night and still sleep. Okay. This guy wants me to take him to a temple, and he can find his own way. Oh, look, okay. A woman in gray paid me to give this to you, he says. Let me see, do I still have my stuff? Yeah. Yeah, so I was accidentally in steal mode whenever I went to go talk and get directions, so I got arrested for pickpocketing there. Alright, but the good news is we have been contacted by the Thieves Guild. We need to go to the Wicking residence in Rigerta Palace. That's practically unpronounceable, but yeah, that's sweet. Okay, we finally made it to the Rigerta Palace, where we need to go in and find a loincloth. And I'm guessing we'll know what to do after we get our hands on that. So let's go into the residence. Now, even though it's a Thieves Guild quest, there's no really a way to hide from these flats who are watching your every move. But yeah, this looks like it. As you pick up the loincloth, you hear the soft rustle of paper. A note is tucked inside. Okay, well, let's go slip out of here. And then we'll go read the note over at the tavern or something. Yeah, okay. Look over our shoulders in paranoia. Go into a side room in here, and let's see what we've got. It simply says Kifilsa, the old Luldern place. Okay, the old Luldern place. I guess we know where to go now. How far are we from the old... It's kind of in the middle of nowhere. Okay, well, let's start heading that way. Okay, the old place out here is a pretty desolate, I guess a fittingly remote location. Let's go talk to our Thieves Guild contact. I don't think that's the Thieves Guild contact. Gotta jump over his furniture. Hey, there you are. Another initiate. Sometimes I wonder if the guild can hold them all. I'm gonna skip the spiel here, since this is not like a let's play or anything like that. But she gives us the traditional payout to initiates. That's a gold piece, and a map to a dungeon. She's pointing us toward the Raup Laboratory, which is pretty sweet, although the fact that it's a laboratory is kind of frightening. But yeah, we're officially in the Thieves Guild, and we'll be able to access the things that they can provide for us, the services they can provide for us in our various regions. So check that off our list. Now let's go check out this laboratory place and see what it has in store for us. Okay, let's see if the bank is open, because we have very little actual loot on us, and yet we are near our max carry weight. So we're gonna go ahead and get a letter of credit. Or, you know, we could just deposit. Yeah, let's just deposit it. I hope I don't regret walking around with not so much cash on us, but gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, we've done just about all the preparation that we can. The only thing we're missing is a couple potions of teleport. So we won't have the panic button that'll let us recall out of the dungeon. But we're close enough to the city where hopefully we can make multiple treks to this dungeon. That was awkward. Ran into the wall there. Let's go to the other side of the city and then we'll fast travel. But yeah, we can make multiple treks to the dungeon and kind of backtrack out of there each time it gets a little too dicey for us. Okay, we finally made it to our destination. It said it was only like a 30-minute ride away, but with all the encounters we ran into, it took a bit longer. Okay, let's quick save and get in there. Oh, I'll turn on my HUD too. Alright, let's see how much loot we can get out of here with. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, thanks a lot, Thieves Guild. That map is not doing anything for me. Oh, goodness. Yeah, in case you're not aware already, I use the Moodex mod, which makes meaner monsters combined with removing the level scaling for mobs and things like that. So that was an ancient lich that jumped us immediately. That's why I was kind of scared of going to a laboratory type dungeon, as I was aware of that. So we're gonna have to find a dungeon to dive into through some other means, I guess. We've been putting off this chore for too long. Let's go ahead and see if we can get these spell scrolls identified. I think the identifier... Oh, no. I always have the hardest time finding the identifier in some of these. Like, if he's not immediately in this hallway right here, I just have the worst luck finding him. Okay, identifier. Tell me what we've got. Hand of Sleep and Tame. Okay. My character does not use magic, so I think, to me, this is just valuable loot that we're holding on to. Let's see what else we can take care of in town. Okay, we found some potions of stamina and potion of teleport. If we could get another potion of teleport, that would be sick. I don't think it's going to be in this alchemy shop. Okay, we'll just hold on to the hope that we'll find another potion of teleport. Yeah, let's go in and let's grab this potion of teleport and 4 potions of heal true. A potion of stamina. Maybe we'll have enough money for a potion of seeking. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Give me the levitation also, I don't care. Alright. Yeah, we burned through like a couple thousand golden potions right there, but money spent on potions is money well spent, I think. Okay, so we're also looking for quests that send us into a dungeon, and we need to go to the Thieves Guild to pick up a quest. Alright, let's go meet our guild mates. Dude, where's the Spy Master? Okay, hold on. Every time I go into this room, I think the Spy Master's missing, but this is just a different layout than what I'm used to. Yeah. This Thieves Guild looks beautiful. I love this spot. This guy can train me. I want training in dodging, please. 950 gold is a little excessive, but you got to pay whatever you got to do. It's for our survival, you know. Okay, we are going to get a quest. I'm sure you've heard of Sheridan. Well, that bastard got promoted to captain of the watch since his predecessor died. He made it public that he'll be going against us, and we can't let that happen. I want you to get inside the city walls and get something that helps us to change his mind. Can I trust you with this? Yeah, sure. Alright, that captain of the watch will get what's coming to him. I know he works the walls south of here for the next 3 days, so try the doors there. Write that up in your journal, as I don't expect the commoners to be of much help. Okay. I think this is added by a quest pack. Korga will be your spotter and warn you if any guards are on the way. Get in, investigate quickly, and get back with whatever you find. Good luck, apprentice. Okay, so she's saying, good to be working with you. I'll be right behind you. Alright, so we have a follower here. We're going to use a potion of teleport, by the way. Set an anchor. We're going to note that anchor is in Thieves Guild in Antiphilos. I think that's how you spell it. Close enough. In the walls south of here. Okay, well, I need to do some resting, and I think I'm going to leave my horse behind so that we can do some of that nice parkour that I look forward to so much. Huh. Oh, come on, let's go, let's go. Okay. Sometimes it's hard to tell where to go next with the handheld torches mod causing us to not be able to use our torch while climbing. But that makes sense. You know, you can't always just put the torch between your teeth as you climb and hope to get there. That'd be pretty metal if you could pull that off, though. Huh, come on. Alright, let's go, come on. This would be a very bad time to fall. Completely unnecessary to climb this building, but it is so fun. Yeah, we got a nice view of the city from up here. So we are roughly south of the Thieves Guild. Let's try to get in here. So I was not able to pick this door, but I think there's a way in from above also, maybe. Okay. Which one is more likely to be successful for us? This one or the one at the ground floor? I guess we're already up here. Now, what exactly are we looking for? Some sort of incriminating evidence is all we know. Okay, I've been having a really rough time finding the correct tower for the city watch where we're supposed to be, but I found out that in our logbook, it tells you that it updates the direction of where it's supposed to be located as you travel. So right now it's listed as southwest, but if I go further, it'll say east. So that should be it. Let's see if we can rappel down. And find where we're supposed to go. Is this it? Southeast? I mean, this looks close enough to where things changed. Let's get in there and see if this does it. Okay, I think we finally got to the right door. Our partner says, no living soul around here, it seems. I'll head back outside and look out for company. I'll knock twice if I see a guard. Have fun. Okay, thank goodness. This seems pretty obviously like something we're trying to look for, so let's pick up the paper. This letter may be of interest to the guildmaster. Okay, it seems like we found a Yeah, a letter that indicates that the captain has an affair, which I guess will be enough dirt for us to get the captain out of our region. So let's get out of here and turn in the quest of the Thieves Guild. Okay, we made it back on the same night. That's pretty good. Almost ran out of stamina, and we actually had to drink a health potion after getting too much fall damage from all of our acrobatics. But what's an acrobat supposed to do, right? Here you go, sir. Let me see that love letter. That's perfect for some blackmailing. Here, take this letter and drop it where you found the other one. The captain needs to know that he can't play funny with us. Okay, I thought we were done, but yeah, we're leaving them a threatening letter. That's pretty cool. Okay, I guess I just drop it here. Okay, cool. Okay, one last trip to the Thieves Guild and we should be home free. I actually brought the horse this time, as conspicuous as it is, just for brevity. Okay, I think we're home free this time. Let's go talk to the guildmaster, get our reward. Okay, not a huge payout there, but that's to be expected. At least we got a little bit of a reputation bonus. After resting after the Thieves Guild mission, we got a level up. So let's put some points into speed, maybe personality. No, it makes more sense to go into agility, even though agility kind of not the best stat in the world. Yeah, a bunch of climbing and running. Oh, dang it. Dang, we're under arrest for criminal conspiracy? Is it that bad already? No. I think we're gonna have to surrender to the guards. Dude, I think we're like excommunicated from this town if that's really that bad. Okay. We're accused of criminal conspiracy. If you... I guess from kicking down all the doors. If you plead not guilty and are found guilty, you will face banishment. A guilty plea will invoke the mercy. Yeah, I don't want to be banished from Antiphalos. Okay, well, I'm still banished from Antiphalos, never to return. That's... that's pretty sick. Alright, well, I guess we got to get our horse and get out of here. Wow, we're in it. After one Thieves Guild quest, we are a scoundrel in Antiphalos. Look, the guards are already after me. I don't even have time to get out. Okay, well, so much for using Antiphalos as a sort of home base. It looks like we'll just be going there whenever we want to explicitly like commit a ton of crimes, since our reputation there can't get any worse, basically. Although we're just a scoundrel, we could be called a villain. I think that's a little bit worse. Maybe there's something worse than that. But anyway, let's go check in and maybe get a Thieves Guild quest. Oh, dude, you know what? We still have money in the Antiphalos bank. How are we going to get the money out if we can't go back? A few rats scurrying about in the streets. I don't really care about that. Yeah, I guess the city's not too fond of paying me whatever I have in the bank after breaking into their, you know, their towers all night long. Okay. Okay, we were lucky enough to pick up a map from this bookstore, so let's see what it points us toward. Castle Fifth. Okay, well, let's go. We're going to try our luck at Castle Fifth, and hopefully we'll get a profitable amount of change from it. Castle Fifth. Okay, just for simplicity's sake, we're going to fast travel to it. Okay. It's a castle-type dungeon, so we should not be greeted by a lich immediately, hopefully. Let's go into sneak mode and creep in here. Okay, just some rats. Okay, already humanoid on our tail. Maybe we can get the rats to distract the humanoid. Oh, look, we're in Privateer's Hold. Looks like even, we'll get some of these random encounters even in the dungeon. That's kind of neat. Okay, while they're occupied fighting one another, yeah, let's bring more to the fray. Why not? These goblins seem kind of tough for what are the weakest enemies in Arena. Okay, yeah, while they're occupied, we're going to see what kind of loot may be laying around. This is the way of the Acrobat. Trying to dodge all the fights and get to the loot. Nothing special here. Okay, looks like it's time for me to get rid of the casual cloak. Oh, hey, buddy. Okay, let's go around him. I think this room usually has some, well, it often has some crates lying around. Okay. Let's introduce this goblin to the archer. Hey, buddy, come on. Dang, he really does kind of pack a punch. Dude, this goblin's really fixated on me. Yeah, start fighting him. Okay, it took about 20 years, and 26 arrows, but we did finish off this guy, so now we can pick the bones of all the corpses around here and see what we can do. Hey, silver brigading gloves, that's pretty good. I'm not super interested in the armor. I don't think the weight to gold ratio is going to be very good there. Oh, we got a steel little upgrade for our bow. Fancy armbands, an upgrade for our look. Oh. Dude. You know, what's super dicey is if I were to try to warp away from here, I would end up in the Thieves Guild in the region where I am banished from. So, that would not be an entirely safe decision if I were to do that. The enemy's too close by for me to rest. Oh, hello. I always expect to find the exit to the dungeon right there like it is in Privateer's Hold. Oh, a potion of teleport. That's a really good find. We really do need to rest, though. Alright, while we're running for our life here, we can talk a little bit about how playing an Acrobat or really any weak thief class is different whenever you're dungeon diving, in particular, compared to the other archetypes. So as you see, I'm not really ready to take on many challenges head on. I'm largely just running from one encounter to the next. I really want to identify what monsters are in the dungeon, since if there are things like liches or vampires, they're likely going to be too strong for us to proceed very much. We don't want to get killed in one shot. So this dungeon has humanoids and rodents, which is pretty perfect for our low-level character here. So we want to identify what the monster types are, and then we want to basically kite them into one another so they can have their own little brawl, and then we can go in and finish off some of the enemies, or we'll at least have an easier amount of enemies to handle. Okay, yeah, we got a lot of level ups. That's good. And you know, we have not been in here long, but I think we need to um, exit the dungeon and make a trip to a nearby town and sell some loot and come back. Okay, folks, we did it. Our humble acrobat has found a dungeon that has enemies that are doable. You know, they don't just kill us immediately like that ancient lich would have in the previous dungeon. And I went down the road a ways and I found this little bitty town here that has everything we need to keep us alive while we go and try to pillage that dungeon. Yeah, this place has a general store and a pawn shop, so we'll be able to sell basically everything we find while restocking on food, rations, and no potions, but that's okay. We can go to a bigger city if we need to. There's also a school of jewelry on us. I don't think we're cut out for that, but that's okay. Yeah, but with the magic of persistent dungeons, as you're probably aware, the dungeons in Daggerfall will refresh or reset after you leave them in the vanilla game. But with persistent dungeons enabled, we should be able to just like make a couple of trips, defeat one enemy at a time, or run from them and find other loot, come back to our home base here, and then dive back into the dungeon whenever we're ready. We're also blessed by a very cloudy and rainy day, even though it's in Sentinel, so that's pretty sweet. Back in the dungeon, it starts us off right here in this block that looks like Privateer's Hold. I think we can run and find the next, a different section of the dungeon if we go this way. Oh, that's right. I think I went here before. Oh, come on. Oh, I missed it. Okay, so he made it through. Okay, I'm gonna use these doors to my advantage. Oh, let's look in this pile. Ooh, a cloth amulet. That's pretty cool. A magical cloth amulet. Oh, you know what? I bet I can trap the scorpion in this hallway, because I saw there's another door for me to go through. Okay, I got lucky and didn't get paralyzed. Alright, so the bat and the scorpion are duking it out in there, and I'm just gonna leave a note. Scorpion trapped indoor. Yeah. I mean, I'll be able to probably see him anyway, but now I'll know what I'm getting myself in for once I open that door up. Oh, you know what? We don't have to worry about the scorpion. We can just bring it to the archer. I kind of don't want to get... There we go. Come on. It's kind of like playing with fire to get too close. Okay. I keep forgetting that I have bandages. Maybe I should take a few shots at the scorpion. I'd rather fight the humanoid than the scorpion, you know? Oh, dude. The human got paralyzed. Okay, back to the door. Try to wait next to it long enough for it to... Oh, dude, it made it through the... This might take a couple attempts. I need to get further away. Okay. Run, slam the door shut, and grab... Where did you come from? Another archer found us. Oh, I got poisoned. Let's do... Yeah, cure poison. Okay. Back to what we were doing before. Oh no, you got paralyzed already. It's like this is just buying me a little bit of time. Maybe I should just run away while this person's paralyzed. I'll need to close the doors though. Yeah. Yeah, and then we'll come back to this area once we have more people to fight the scorpion. These torches are on, and since we use darker dungeons, that indicates that they're probably humanoid around here, but that might be the one that's stuck in there being paralyzed. Oh, okay. Here's a Nightblade or something. Oh, he casted visibility. That's pretty cool. Or chameleon or something. That is awesome. I've never seen this. That looks really cool. Did a mod let enemies start casting invisibility on themselves, or is this just something I've never seen before? Either way, he needs to be sacrificed to the scorpion. Oh, I'm stuck. Oh, that was dangerous. The scorpion does not see the Nightblade yet. Yeah, his that's actually really cool that they're able to get away with this. Yeah, it's like because he's able to turn invisible, he was making my strategy worse. It's pretty cool. The enemy actually like couldn't see him. Oh, I accidentally drank a potion. Here's a fire where we can rest, but it's kind of in the middle of the hallway. I don't think that necessarily has any gameplay implications, but it feels irresponsible to just be in the middle of a room like that where there's all this, we're like in hostile territory, you know. I hear something to climb down, but there doesn't seem to be any way out if I were to drop down there. So this is like the Acrobat test from the beginning of the video, all over again. Yeah, my stamina bar is halfway down. I like that whenever you're running from foes all the time, and jumping and climbing, you're managing your stamina bar quite a bit. It's not just your health. Okay, we got 2 bogeys on our tail down here. I don't think we want to stick around for that. Maybe we'll try to talk to them. No. It's a burglar. You know, it's probably not that much stronger than me, but I don't want to have to deal with that. Yeah, we can just backtrack and go another direction. Find a bat. Let's see if we can kite him toward another enemy. These lights are on, so I imagine... Yeah, there he is. Okay, come on, bud. Okay, while the thief and the bat are occupied, we're gonna cruise a bit further down. If I could find one area that felt just a little bit secluded to plop down and take a nap, that would be great. Because we're getting so far away that I'm wondering how easily I'm going to find my way back. This door has been opened already. Was this me? Man, there are people everywhere. This might be it. This might be my safe area. Oh, we made it back to the other side. This would probably be a good time to, yeah, go a bit closer to the privateer's holds. Oh, the scorpions area. I forgot about the scorpion area being over here. Maybe we just bring a couple more people toward it. Here's a rat. That's not a big deal. Okay, I'm just going to start bringing the scorpion down to my enemies. Let's see how far we can ride this pony. Okay, while they're fighting, let's go back and find another enemy to bring up. That's the pit. I don't want to go down the pit. Ooh, we almost got caught right there. Alright, where are you, bud? You get stuck? Kind of got a wide body. You can get stuck in the corridors. Okay. Let's just duck out of here for a second and see if there's anything. No, we've already explored this room. Oh, here's another one. Yeah, the scorpion's fighting 2 humanoids in the other room, so we're just gonna give him some time. Okay, so seems like a dead end. Let's check up on our buddies. Okay, he got both of them. Alright, so we're gonna bring him in here. Oh, this is a dead end, right? Alright. Bait out an attack, and then run. Close the door. Alright, okay. We contained the scorpion again. Scorpion. Alright, now let's see if we get any good loot from these things. 90 gold, a couple torches, actually pretty handy here. And 35 gold. So, oh, silver dagger. Not special, but this will help us to recoup our losses from all the potions that we were having to take. And let's go back to the rest area here. There are still enemies nearby. I don't know where they are. But let's see how much further we can push it. Alright, let's cook the smelly raw meat. Okay, I said before that I didn't want to rest in the middle of nowhere. But we're pretty exhausted. Hopefully the scorpion is still being held back. Alright, we got easy archery and hand-to-hand level up there. That's the cool thing about being terrible at combat, is it takes almost no effort at all to get level ups. So yeah, another little side quest, another benefit of coming down in here is even if we're not really winning in the fights that we engage in, we're getting experience, so that's cool. I'm really curious about what's down here in the pit. Let's just drop a quick save and go into repel mode. It is actually just a pit. Okay, I thought there was going to be like a whole room down here. Well, that sucks. Let's just pick this up. We're going to get a disease down here with the rat. Get out of here. Oh, don't mind me. Oh, I picked up some arrows. Oh, a silver longbow. I wonder if I can use the chain armor. That would be a good find. Oh, are we trapped? Alright, we're running. Grabbed quite a bit of loot from that room. Now we're just gonna beat a hasty retreat like we did before and see how close we can get to the dungeon's entrance by memory. You don't have to do it by memory, I just think it makes for a fun little objective. Yeah, yeah. We actually were not that far from the entrance, come to think of it. Okay, well, we're gonna head back to town and get some more rest, I think. You know, our whole plan of using these 3 cities as a place to conduct our business in our core gameplay loop, it didn't really work out that well since we got banished from Antiphalos from doing, you know, one botched job for the Thieves Guild. So I see there's a port over here, not too far from the dungeon. So I think after a couple more days of grinding along through the dungeon here and seeing how much we can clear out, our acrobat's going to go over here to Bubumbaret and see if he can find a ship that's willing to take him. Alright, we made it to Bubumbaret, and it looks like this this port town is actually connected to a dock. Let's go check it out. Well, this is really cool. You got ships out there on the ocean. And a lighthouse. Oh, you have some out there in the Iliac Bay itself. That's really cool. I don't think that every port in the game has this kind of World of Daggerfall update applied to it, but that's still really cool. Really great set pieces. There are a couple of rats that are getting after us, but you know, I think before we get on with the next chapter of the Acrobat's life, we need to see what the top of this is like. our acrobat is going to have some major bragging rights if he can climb to the top of a lighthouse during a storm. He might not be able to, though. It's pretty slippery. Okay. Okay. We made it to the first rooftop. A great view of our little port town here, though. For how big these cities are, they look almost small in the distance. Okay. Oh, you know what this looks like, y'all? Y'all know what this looks like? This looks like a certain dungeon. Alright, here's the view from the lighthouse. Okay, I think that's our ship that's going to take us up to someplace in Daggerfall, so let's just go dive into the water and swim out there. Alright. Okay, let's go to this region out here that has all the islands to the south. This is going to be where we start over, and yeah, we get to turn over a new leaf, and hopefully we leave all of our enemies in Antiphalos in the dust while maintaining our connection to the Thieves Guild. Okay, we have waited for night to fall out here in the city of, I was going to check the map, but apparently we have enemies nearby. Out here near this city that we've traveled to in Daggerfall. I thought it would be remiss to end this video without showing you the perfect way, or my favorite way, to engage with the Acrobat slash thief slash burglar aesthetic. And that's with the help of the realistic wagons mod. We're going to park our horse near the city gates. This mod makes it so that we have to keep track of the physical presence of the horse, and it just makes being a thief feel like so much fun to me. So we're going to go over here. Let's douse our torch just for the sake of secrecy, and we'll climb up the city gates here. Now, we don't want to be made into a complete villain. Like we said, we came here to start a new life, sort of. So we're not going to go bashing in doors like we did in that one town for the Thieves Guild. However, we are going to try to see which locks we can open without, you know, punching them down and such. So let's try to go into repel mode. Sorry, I know it's very dark here, so I'll turn on the torch for you. Yeah, I think this part of town is where all the shops are. So once we've scoped out the area and found which places are worth breaking into, we shall do our thing. Is this one open? Let's turn the HUD on. Does not unlock. Just gonna use a candle. Still gives us some light for you to see by, but it feels a bit more surreptitious than going around with a torch trying to break into places. Bookstore even. Bookstore would be great. No. Alchemist? No. Oh, this guy's out here watching me. Hey, do you mind? Man, it seems like we're doing a pretty bad job of breaking into these houses the peaceful way. Okay, well, let's try. Okay, hopefully this is an actual bookstore. Yeah, sometimes you'll end up in a library whenever you mean to go to a bookstore, and that's unfortunate. Okay, we're pretty weak, so we're already out of stuff to carry. But now we just have to make sure that we get out of dodge before the guards catch up with us. And we need to make it back to our horse, and then we will go back to living under the stars with a paranoid disposition, always looking over our shoulder for Johnny Law or even the bounty hunters from from our beef and Antiphalos or some other region. Sentinel, man, they all they all want me in shackles. So we're living our life in paranoia, but that is the way of the acrobat. That's the way of the thief. And yeah, we're just going to set out under the stars. Okay, so to just offer some closing remarks about why I love playing the acrobat, the thief, burglar archetype. As you saw in the dungeon, playing as an acrobat or a thief really sort of challenges this notion that whenever we're playing RPGs like Daggerfall, Morrowind, Oblivion, or things of that nature, we have to play characters who are very powerful, who are good at fighting, and to go from one room to the next, overcoming all of their enemies. Sometimes by playing certain characters, we change the gameplay loop into something that is more distinct, in this case more challenging, and completely changes the way we interact with the dungeon, with our environments, and with the enemies. We rely on language skills to pacify enemies. We rely on things like doors to trap beasts behind them, or even just closing a door and shutting it to slow down our humanoid pursuers who will just open the door and chase us. Like, it's all fair game, and it's all, in my experience, a bit more intriguing than going from one room to the next and punching through people. Because to be a thief or to be an acrobat is to be vulnerable to combat, and to have vulnerability is to have tension, and to have tension is to have a good story. And so this is all the ingredients that we put into the cauldron for a brew of a fun time playing Daggerfall or RPGs more broadly. It makes you feel more resourceful, a bit more scrappy, and it provides a nice break. It's not that I don't play mages or fighters often. It's just I keep coming back to this archetype because of how fun it is to lurk in the shadows and duck out of danger and things like that. We should talk about a few mods that we encountered during this gameplay session to that make playing a thief a bit more enjoyable in Daggerfall. A classic is Skullduggery. That's a mod that it makes it more feasible to break into houses and things like that, into shops. Your sneak skill is rolled whenever you enter into a shop to see if maybe you knock over a flower pot or a board creaks under your foot. It'll increase the likelihood of guards being called if you are bad at sneak, and it'll reduce the likelihood if you're good at sneaking. What else we've got? Like we saw in that last heist, we like the realistic wagon mod to make the horse something that we have to keep track of. Remember to buy sugar lumps to call your horse back to you, because sometimes it can be hard to find your horse after you've escaped from the city. Also, there's only a certain radius where the horse will return to you. So if you go to a whole different province, don't expect your sugar lumps to work. Climates and calories in darker dungeons, I mean, are fun ways to add to the survival elements of the game. If you don't like them, I completely understand, but it makes it for a fun dungeon crawling experience for me. The Quest Pack 1 mod will add more mods to the Thieves Guild questline. Kleptomania is a mod that will add things like goblets, chalices, holy daggers, and things like that as set pieces to various dungeons and or areas within settlements and towns and cities and palaces that will give you a bit more incentive to go wander around plucking things off of shelves and things like that. The same mod author created jewelry add-ons, which I've kind of taken for granted since introducing it into my mod list, but it adds a variety of bracelets, amulets, crowns and diadems and things like that to make your loot a bit more diverse whenever you're playing a character like this. It's part of what makes robbing pawn shops and jewelry stores so profitable. So I highly recommend that one. Another mod that is a bit controversial is Penwick Papers. I don't know if it's controversial is the right word. I use only select features from this mod, but the intention of it is to... one intention of it is to make the thief gameplay a bit more dynamic. It has a lot of gameplay features, such as a lock-picking minigame that can prevent you from just you go up to a locked door, you activate it in thief mode, and it's either going to open and all is good, or you'll have to spend 5 seconds to 2 minutes bashing the door down, and that just, it's not a very great gameplay loop. However, at the present time, this lockpicking minigame, which plays sort of like Dance Dance Revolution, where you're using the keyboard and arrow keys to build up a bar and unlock it. Currently, the speed of that minigame is set to the reflex speed you set the game to. I think most of us play with the reflexes on very high just by default, and that makes the game nearly impossible. So until that gets changed, I don't think I'll be using that part of the mod. The one part of Penwick Papers I have enabled is the Potion of Seeking. Oh, look at me falling through the map. It's whatever. Yeah, the Potions of Seeking are really helpful for finding quest items in the dungeon. Okay, so to talk about some other options introduced by the Penwick Papers, there are all these dirty tricks mechanics that are pretty cool. Like for blinding, you get to use pocket sand on enemies, which can reduce their chance to hit you. You can chalk doors, which is kind of like jamming them shut while you're running away. So that's a really cool feature. It kind of lets you lock out enemies where they have to bash at the door to get to you and slow down their pursuit, like I was doing with that scorpion. What else? You can set a hotkey where you can like kick somebody without having to have your hand-to-hand equipped. And you can peek through doors. I wasn't honestly able to get much use out of these. I find that going between like grab mode and steal mode can be a bit finicky and hard for me to keep up with, and I kept messing up and losing my characters. Blinding is a really cool idea, but the enemies can blind you as well, and this makes it such that your screen just completely goes black whenever you're fighting enemies like burglars and thieves and assassins. And for someone like me that usually doesn't reload saves, that's just kind of a death sentence. So yeah, I have just like a couple of things like enhanced info and added items to the mod, but you go through and experiment and see what you like. A couple more things to call out: the beautiful cities and beautiful villages of Daggerfall mod makes it so that you have taverns outside of city walls. You have a different layout for the cities, which I find a bit more engaging. Other mods like Lively Cities and Cities Overhaul are also a good way to add just a bit more depth and variety to the urban exploration part of Daggerfall. I think that's all I have to talk about for this video. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me for this this overview of acrobats in Daggerfall and the thief archetype more broadly. Remember to like and subscribe if you have not done so already. And in the comments, tell me about the kind of archetype that you keep defaulting to whenever you play Elder Scrolls games or role-playing games in general. Thanks again for watching, and have a good one.